Assalamualaikum and good morning. I am MOHD KARIM bin HALIM, number metric 302410. Today I'm going to presenting the entity relationship diagram for our conference management system. Okay, this is the database. This is the database blueprint designed to manage the entire conference lifecycle for the from user registration and the paper submission to final decisions and communications. So let's start with our core entities, which is the user management. The user management entities store all primary logins and personal details. A key is also a key structural features in the many-to-many relationship between the users and the roles, resolved by the user roles junction tables. And this is the crucial because a single person might hold a multiple role like a author, reviewer, and an admin, and our designs handles that complexity seamlessly. We also maintain a one-to-one link to the profile for extended optional user informations. So moving to the papers entity, holding the title, abstract, and submission date. To track our authorship, we again use a many-to-many relationship resolved by the paper author table. This is important because it tracks which users wrote which papers, and importantly, record the author order. The paper is also linked in a one-to-many fashion to paper file to manage the version control and to paper keywords for efficient searching and indexing. So the review process is our mostly detailed module, which is a review assignment leads to a final review recording with the one-to-one relationship, which holds the overall score and the final recommendation. To ensure all the detailed feedback, we actually structure the scoring around the review criteria entity. The review score table then records how a specific review score against every single criterion. This flexible design support the detail and grammar feedback. For our auditing, all changes to the final decisions are tracked using the one-to-many decision logs table, ensuring a full historical record for every administration actions. And finally, for our financial and registrations, which is a single registrations links one-to-many payments, and every payments generate a one-to-one invoice record, ensuring the clean financial compliance. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad AFIFI bin Musa, metric number 299783. So I'm going to present about the result. The first one is user management, which is users, where it's contain users ID and their name. And next, roles, where there is a role ID and the description and role name. The third one is users and underscore roles, which is contain the users underscore role and ID and user ID and role ID. Next one is profile, which is profile ID, user ID, and their full name and their detail. So next is login session, which is contain the session ID and their user ID and login time. So next, paper management, which is papers, contain the papers ID and the title and abstract. So next, paper files, which is contain the paper files, paper ID, name, and file path. Next is paper auto, which is contain the paper auto ID and their paper ID and user ID. Also, there is paper keywords, contain the paper keywords ID, paper ID, and keyword ID. Next is keywords, where there is a keyword ID and keyword name. So next is review management, which is contain review. There is a review ID, assignment ID, and review date. Next is review underscore assignment, contain the assignment underscore ID, paper ID, and reviewer ID. Next is review scores. The primary key is review underscore score ID underscore ID. Next is review underscore ID and criteria ID. So there is also review underscore criteria, which is contain the criteria ID, review ID, and review criteria name and their description. So next, there is result management and status. First one is decision, which is decision ID, paper ID, and decider ID, decision, and their comment. So next is the decision log, which is contain the log ID, decision ID, and change by and change date and their remarks. So next is paper status history. There is a status ID, paper ID, and their status and updated at and updated by. So next is registration and payment, which is the registration contain the registration ID, user ID, and conference years, registration date, and status. Next is payment, which is contain the payment ID, registration ID, and amount and currency. So next is invoice, which is contain the invoice ID, payment ID, invoice number, and issue date, file path. So the last one is message and notification, which is the first one is message. There is message ID, sender ID, and receiver ID. There is also subject and content. And the last one is notification, which is start with notification ID, user ID, and message.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HAIKAL MUIZZUDIN bin MOHAMED. My contact number is 299064065. For this part, I will explain about our insert queries for our conference management system database. So, given that we have 6 sections, so I will explain only one section, that is user management. For the first table, we have user. It shows that we insert users table with user ID, name, email, password, and institution and country. So given that we already insert 3 sample, for example, we have user ID 1 Muhammad Adif, user ID 2 1 HAIKAL, and user ID 3 we got DANIAL HAFIZ. And then we proceed to our role section. Roles table, we put our role name and description for the role based on role. For example, we have role ID 1, we have role name, admin, and the description is full access to manage the conference system. And for the role ID 2, we got author, and role ID 3, we got reviewer. And then back for the user roles, is it the combination of users and role? For example, we use user ID 1 from table users and role ID 1 from table roles, and then we combine it, and then we got it as HADIF as an admin. And for user ID 2, we refer this table, we got one HAIKAL, and role ID 2 we got author, so HAIKAL become the author. And for the user ID 3, is it DANIAL HAFIZ, and then it collect with role ID 3. That's mean he became DANIAL as reviewer. So this section, this table is show that it was filled our personal information. For example, we got profile ID 1, user ID 1, Muhammad Adif, the number phone, and the bio. And the last, we got login session. We have session ID as primary key, and user ID and IP address. So if the user ID 1 or HADIF log in from that IP address, it will show that IP address. So these values cannot be the same unless they all stay on the same spot. So for the section user management, already done here, and thank you.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Hafiz. My metric number is 298522. Today I'm gonna explain for my part. So let's see. In review table we have all of this I use insert into. Also in review assignment, this all is into. In review score, I have this data. In review criteria, this all data in my table. So let's see for the update. I'm gonna upgrade for review score table. So select all for review score back. Nah, with in review score just now, this is different, and now it changed to 9.0 for the set score value right here. So now I'm gonna delete review ID 2 and criteria IDC. Review ID 2 and criteria IDC, this one. Let's see what happened. So we select all back. Yeah, this just now for review ID 2 and criteria IDC already gone. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Alright. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi, my name is Muhammad HADIF bin NASARUDIN. My metric number is 297386. We are going to look at the data grid for user management. So, this is my works on the data grid. Okay, so we go on. Select star from users. This is for users table. Okay, I already add 3 sample, and then select we this is for user. Okay, so commonly in user management we can update and delete. So I already write it to make it easy. So let's say I want to update the name, email, password for this user ID one. So just update this and then run it. This I update the name into full name, email into the latest email and password 123. Okay. So we see it again. Okay, so this one it already updated. Okay, so let's say I want to delete user, I want to delete number 2 user, which is one HAIKAL. So this is the command, delete user. Okay, so select, we look back, and then yeah, the user ID for one HAIKAL is disappear right now. Okay, so another table that usually we have to update, user want to update is the profile section. So let's say this is table profile. We see, okay, so one HAIKAL is already disappeared. So I want to update the name of my ADIF is the case is different, so I want to update into the all uppercase. Sorry, so just now we have comma here, so this may an error, so I backspace the comma and then we can proceed to update. Okay, and then we see back. So the name is already changed into all uppercase. And then let's say I want to delete the user. Uh, User ID. Oh no. I mean not delete the user ID, we delete the profile ID. Profile ID. Profile ID 3. Okay. So we can delete the user profile. I'm sorry for the mistake. Profiles. Profile ID is 3, okay. And then we see back, we look back at the database. So only Muhammad Adif bin Nasarudin. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you very much. And we go to the next member. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.